Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 19 of Syncing with ServiceNow. I'm your host, Andy Whiteside. I've got the XenTegra ServiceNow crew, or a chunk of it anyway, with me today. And today is, it's July 5th, one day after 4th of July, 2023. So excited to have this group and excited, and this is going to sound crazy to say, I'm excited to talk about HR. Well, and I say it that way on purpose because to many people, including myself, HR is not exciting. However, now we have a chance to talk about systems that improve workflows between employees and employers and make HR, well, I'll just say exciting and adds function and adds integration with other technologies. And well, that's what we're going to talk about today. So quick round of introductions. Fred Reynolds, who runs our modern apps practice, which a big chunk of that is ServiceNow, is here. Fred, how was your 4th of July? Uh-oh. I saw him switching microphones a second ago. And now he's got this interesting look on his face.
I'm back. Sorry. As soon as it started, I lost everything. I'm back.
That's not a podcast pro move right there. But it's a very confident move. Just didn't pay off. All right. So I know you went tubing and you almost killed your daughter. What does that mean?
Oh yeah. So you asked me how my 4th went because I missed every bit of it. So apologize.
Yes.
Bare bone move, but yes, I switched things. Oh, 4th of July was great. So I celebrated my son's 17th birthday. Had a bunch of his boys over to cook a couple of briskets, which devoured those. About $350 of the meat was gone in about an hour. They just killed it. So yeah, we had a great time. And then on the 4th, kind of took it more easy, just a family, and just kind of hung out, did a little cooking out. That was it. Very low key, but lots of tubing.
I've slowly learned the lesson, and me from back in the day, that if you have the least nicest and the least biggest house, then you don't have to host for stuff like this. And all you got to do is go help clean up a little bit and you're off the hook. Man, there's some logic in that. I'm really starting to believe that.
Indeed, but I will share this story though. So I just turned 50 and I decided it was a good idea because it was my son's birthday to get on the tube with my daughter and my son and go tubing as well, with my wife driving the boat. So I am still sore today after several days later. Caught some big air and feeling that pain, but it was a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever laughed that much in a 30-minute period. So I fell off 4 times by laughing so hard I just couldn't hang on. So it's a lot of fun.
Is this a single tube with everybody on it or 3 separate tubes?
This was a 3-sitter sit down that you can pull or turn it around and get on your knees. And then we have a 4-person like cockpit. So we did them all. I wanted to try all the tubes because usually I'm driving the boat and trying to kill them. And so I said, hey, she drives the boat and wear me out. So
we'll get off this topic in just a second. But I grew up tubing, barefoot and ski and all that stuff. Now we mostly wake surf. And I still like taking the kids tubing, except I count the gallons of gas I'm burning while I'm pulling them. And again, I'd rather use somebody else's boat.
It is a very costly sport, that's for sure.
Ran out of gas one time last summer, not even realizing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got the sisters on, starting with Kristen McDonald. Kristen's been with us a while and been part of these podcast series. And her sister, Becky Witten's on as well. Hopefully I said that last name. Did I pronounce Becky's last name correctly? Whiten. So the I is a long I, which as Andy Whiteside, I should get it.
Yeah.
I guess if it was 2 T's, it would be Witten.
Yes.
Right.
There you go.
Like the football player. That way.
Which football? That's how dumb.
Cowboys.
Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cowboys tight end. There you go. Look, Becky's a football fan. I like
Becky knows all the Cowboys. Yeah.
Wife's a Cowboys fan. You'll get along with her great.
All right. So, Kristen, this is your chance. Becky got to say something funny about you last time, and then we're going to do this time, and then we're done. Tell us your best Becky story that I don't want to have to check the box on the podcast posting that says it was explicit material. So don't go that way.
No. So this is a family legend. So I get to tell on my sister now. So my sister here was the Texas high school rodeo cutting champion. And we went to Colorado one year for the championships, and they were interviewing individuals there. And of course, they interviewed Becky. And she had a horse who was down. They were interviewing the veterinarian there. And oh man, that Texas accent came out. She was real worried about her mayor, and oh my goodness.
Is
And
this,
she will never live that down.
and and everybody on this call, I think, is old enough for me to say this. This is pre-YouTube, pre-digital, so that doesn't exist. It's on a VHS tape somewhere, maybe.
Yes, but it did
Yeah,
play on a
I
loop
got
that
it.
whole week. So
She's got it.
oh, there you
Look
go.
at that.
Right there, handy.
All right. So can you convert that to digital and share it with us, or is it already converted somewhere?
Oh, my goodness.
So listen, if you were something in Texas regarding a rodeo, does that mean you were the best in the world?
I was the best in Texas.
People in
Texas is the
Texas think
biggest
it's
and
so
baddest.
country.
Mhm.
I think it's
Yes.
funny when you go to Texas, you got all these flagpoles, but it's not an American flag, it's a big Texas flag everywhere.
We are proud of our Texas.
Yeah, you should be. It's a great place, great people, and a lot of good things to do.
It is.
Good food.
And as Krista was mentioning that, we would go, it was in Pueblo at the national finals, and every time the TV would be on, it ran like in a constant loop. I think the whole town
Mhm.
thought it was hilarious the way I talked. And so they kept playing it over and over and over. Every time I go into the room or in wherever and turn on the TV, it'd be on.
That's hilarious.
It was pre-YouTube viral. Yeah.
Yes.
And I know we got to get to HR, but that really reminds me of every time the North Carolina State Fair comes around here, they always interview the people that come from the furthest woods back door to tell them about how great the fair is. And it's so like they have no teeth and they're just like, North Carolina State Fair is the best. Come here. And it's like, every time
She had all her
One of those
teeth.
things.
Yeah.
I had my teeth.
you can get kicked by a horse, right?
Yeah. I
Fred,
just,
Fred, are you complaining they interview your relatives every time? What was
Pretty much. I think I was interviewed once for sure.
Hopefully a tornado never comes through, then they'll definitely find all of you.
Find my family for sure.
Well, guys, as Fred mentioned, today we're covering, I mentioned HR as a topic. Let me share my screen here. All right, so the title is from Paul Davies, sorry, of March 21st of this year. I was going to highlight, I am going to highlight that one of the reasons why we're doing this, my daughter, who was going into HR, at least she thinks she is, she's in school. And I talked to her about, coming up, being part of a consulting world where they help solve through software and technologies and platforms, HR related needs. So I exposed her to the ServiceNow HR workflows and modules. And I mean, she lit up instantly and thought it was great, very valuable and very useful. And so now she's kind of heading down that path. The title of this one is 3 Ways to Supercharge.
Andy, we're
I think we're
you. Yeah.
yeah, the printers
your
and
list of
scanners.
Uh-oh, wrong screen. Sorry.
We could probably integrate those to ServiceNow if you want.
There you go.
I did that last week. Oh, there you go. My screens are, now that I've got a new system, my screens are backwards on the Zoom.
There you go.
There we go. Now we're good.
All right, 3 ways to supercharge HR digital transformation. So that's a couple things, right? A digital transformation, all that's happening. It's happening in every line of the business, including HR. And then this is a way to use the platform to supercharge it. So Fred, why did you pick this particular blog?
Well, one, because we have Becky as part of the team. We have several opportunities that we're starting to talk with our customer base on HR. And I'm going to tell you, it is something, that as I look more and more into it, I get really excited about it, because HR, as I've always typically looked at it, as being, you're, and the onboarding aspect ServiceNow brought a different light to onboarding, in my opinion. So onboarding, I'm used to going to fill out the documents that people need for HR. But when you think about HR and IT together, you think about how can you really, it says supercharge, but how can you really automate and create very efficient ways of creating workflows between what IT needs to do to fulfill someone onboarding from a technical standpoint, and then your HR system that has the typical forms and documentation, and then the next thing of that is like your employee improvement and development. So how you do that right, how you drive that, and the back end of ServiceNow. I don't want to get into the whole article yet, but it's like we're seeing that across our customer base, and latching onto that, how to expand on that.
Would it be fair to say that IT and HR are 2 departments that have to work together?
Oh, absolutely.
All the way from the onboarding to the offboarding and everything in between?
they do it. A lot of it's just so siloed these days, and it's the way it has been. But I think this is absolutely an easy way to bring them together. Some people, I think, have made attempts of having niched, HR systems and IT and then doing them separately where they kind of email or say, this is what we need. But that's, or just turn around a swivel seat and always doing service desk tickets to fulfill their onboarding activities, anything to do with HR. But really, this ties them together very seamlessly.
I have to stop and
Exactly.
highlight that Fred just created a new verb called IT.
Yeah, the emails you can't always track, when it was sent, when it should be completed, and following up and so forth. So it really helps all of that.
So Becky, sounds like you've got some experience in this. Tell us, without naming names, one of your consulting gigs where you brought IT and HR together through the ServiceNow platform.
So several times, but one very large government entity, we did this. The HR department was very cautious of the security, and ServiceNow took great lengths at the security and the HRSD module and really separated that data, even from an admin, into the instance. So it is very secure as far as the data goes. You can integrate the data with other known systems that are out there today that large companies might be already utilizing, but yet it also brings and ties things together. So as an end user, you can, or a manager, you can easily onboard a new employee, and those workflows trigger and those tasks go out to the IT area, create their tasks. Things can kick off at the same time or at different times once one thing is completed. And also, if there are things that the employee or user needs to sign, the HRSD has the ability to be able to sign documents and that be stored into the instance as well. So there's a lot of innovation that ServiceNow has put into the HRSD.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that, but just document signing and tracking of those documents without human manual placement and things. I guess that's a no-brainer fit here.
Yes, exactly.
Kristen, any specific HR related implementations you've seen that you would comment about?
So I've seen a few implementations, and I really would emphasize the employee experience on those implementations. ServiceNow does have a mobile app for onboarding for new users. And I actually spent 10 years working for a pre-employment screening provider who built applicant tracking systems. And to have a mobile app on your local phone where you can track the progress of your application, you can sign anything that needs to be done, you can complete any tasks assigned to you, that's a really big deal. And that really streamlines the process of bringing on a new employee. And really, the experience for a new employee is so significant because it's their first impression of your company, right? So in order to be able to streamline that and really make it a nice, seamless process for them, it really is important. Yeah.
I was going to comment on that. So Fred, how many chances do you get to make a first impression?
One.
Yeah.
So, do you want them to be FedExing documents back and forth, or do you want it to be a seamless, forward-thinking digitally transformed process that's user-friendly and secure?
And it also provides a level of consistency when you put in a system like this. You have a way you deliver it every single time. People see that as well. So you have one time to have a first impression, and with that first impression goes with that sequence of tasks, as Becky was mentioning. Anytime you go between a company or even doing business between companies, there's always different interactions, signing NDAs or doing forms and stuff. And any way you can streamline that to where you send it out or you hit a button and it reminds the people that this still hasn't been done. You got 2 days to do that. And it's multiple people that have to sign it. It takes your worry away and you can focus your time on other things. So that's another big reason why this makes it more efficient, is because it takes you from doing the mundane task and does the automation for you and tracking.
So I kind of want to jump into the blog, but at the same time, I want to ask this group a question. I mean, what's taken so long for IT and HR to come together? Why hasn't it happened sooner?
It's because they haven't had a single platform until now. ServiceNow is that single platform that can handle both.
And I think it takes a platform.
Great.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. It takes a platform can do both, and then it has to be proven. So now you're starting to see the uptick in this because you have companies that have gone all in. ServiceNow has lots of great use cases of big companies using HR in with the implementation and all the other different modules. And it really takes people seeing success in one area before they feel like they'll jump forward and do it. Everybody says they want to be on the leading edge and be part of digital transformation, but they're really waiting to see if it's going to be successful before they jump in. And I think that's why, Andy, I think we're on the brink of everybody wanting to implement this and move forward with it.
Yeah. So Becky, I'm probably going to target you for most of these breakouts. There's three ways to supercharge it. First one is integrate HR and digital technology teams. We might have been talking about that a little bit, but what is this part of the document, the blog, talking about?
So we did talk a little bit about this. So this is basically, allowing the partnership between the HR and the more IT type task to be able to talk to each other. Before, you've seen a lot of the silos. HR needs to onboard someone, and then they have to go email 4 different teams, and then somebody might need to get an email account created before they can get their laptop delivered or their desktop set up, or facilities and so forth. So all of these different things that they've had to do. As you asked me previously, I had to implement this for a very large government client, and was amazed that they were tracking in an Excel spreadsheet on a SharePoint where they were at in the process for thousands of people. And it was amazing to be able to implement ServiceNow for them and really reduce down and allow different managers also the access to be able to see where those employees were at in the process.
And to their defense, do you think they thought that was digital transformation? Digital Excel in a SharePoint site was a massive leap forward.
That was for them at the time. At the time, that was the best that they could do at the time to be able to manage it for that many people.
Question for you, and I want you to respond, and I want Kristen to respond. Do you think that's because IT was driving the digital part of that conversation, and that's all they knew how to do? And now we're in a world where HR is now driving the conversation because there's a platform that they can consume and understand?
I think that it's both. I think HR kind of works in their own little world, or own big world. And then IT kind of has their space. And most of the time they have, ways for their tickets to get entered or come at them. Whereas ServiceNow can ingest emails as well. If somebody is used to doing that, we can take it in so many different ways as well. But, now that we have the platform to be able to do it all in an onboarding request, it kind of handles all of those different tasks that are needed. But I do feel like they were really both felt like their tool that they were utilizing was good for them, and really did not see where it meshed together. And now it does.
Surely there's software that does this, but maybe it doesn't do it in a way where it all comes together. Is that what we're moving away from?
The silos, exactly. We're moving away from the silos into consolidation. And with that consolidation, you get the power of being able to share data and records and workflows and everything across departments and across users. One of the really nice features of HR, and I know Becky mentioned the security piece, but you can share only what you need to share with IT. They don't need to see all of the users, personally identifiable information and any information coming back from their background checks or anything like that. The only thing IT needs to see is, okay, who's this user? What am I getting them? Where am I sending it? Right. So you can share that piece of data with IT, and HR can still see all of the things that they need to see in order to perform their function. And we haven't had a platform that can do all of that up until now. So, yeah.
And another thing I think the platform is doing to help the employees, right? You think about it from the employee side of HR is like that catalog that you get when you go to service desk is usually been focused on, I need a new laptop charger, I need this. Now you can incorporate more of the HR functionality, help or request for services you may want. That services could be something on a legal side or something that goes back out to HR. Those requests can flow that way. And one more thing about silos, just want to make this point. It just hit me kind of seeing Becky in some talks we've done around workplace. But real estate's always been a separate siloed organization as well. IT and HR, and honestly, onboarding, you can actually automate all of that with a platform like ServiceNow, because if you have workplace and you have locations of where they could sit in office spaces, all of that can be automated. So I just want to say that back to the platform discussion, that's what a platform like ServiceNow can do, is help those siloed environments and create a workflow that goes across all organizations and keeps people from knowing where to go to request.
Exactly. And one more thing too, sorry,
Okay.
Andy. But as Kristen was mentioning about the security, so not only for onboarding, but let's say that there's a request about benefits. You could have your team of benefits and they only receive the cases around the benefits. So when they log in, they don't see all the onboarding pieces or any of the other tasks that are out there. Depending upon how you want HR set up, it can easily set up to where your benefits coordinator only sees the benefits coordination or the benefits queue that or things that are related to them. So that really helps as well on the security piece.
So I think it's a no-brainer, the technical benefits of this. Is there a chance to save money too if we're breaking down these separate software silos?
Most definitely. All of the email and all of the time. And when one task gets completed, then the other task can kick off, or multiple tasks can happen at the same time. That cuts time is money. And when you're turning or getting people onboarded quicker, faster, efficiently, then that is a savings. And we can do SLAs against those tasks or against the overall request as well, and see how well that you're doing in those areas, as well as be able to see if that a lot more people are coming on. Maybe a new representative needs to be added in to help with the workload. So you can help look at that and look to see where your areas are needed.
So I was going to move us on to the next section, but as Becky was saying that, I started thinking about artificial intelligence. Now that we have all this stuff into a single platform, and the promise for 10%, 20% improvement in efficiencies is artificial intelligence going forward. I guess at the bottom it actually does say it AI. How does that change this scenario and benefit it?
Well, there's a virtual chat as well. And there are also ways that you can ask questions onto the portal as well. And it can recommend different things based upon what keywords or things that you've asked it. And that is available as well.
I think we paused, Andy, because when you think of AI, I think there's a couple of ways that people think about it. One way I think about it from HR is for a company to utilize AI to understand what questions and concerns employees have. So if you put some of the right, utilizing a virtual agent and getting people to respond or ask questions to it, you can use AI to kind of really understand what is on the top of most employees' mind, and use AI in that way to help you improve employee CSAT in that area, or employee SAT, sorry.
I mean, you may not get it right, but your statistics around getting it right go up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Becky. So the next section of this article, this blog, is invest in the right technology. What are they trying to cover here?
So before in ServiceNow, we could easily had a request way to be able to onboard. Investing into the HRSD is truly better now. Because it brings on all of the security, all of these different things. It's grown. It now can do so many more functions than what we used to be able to do just in the regular requests. So a lot of these things we tried to help customers when they first came on to ServiceNow, and we utilized the request way to be able to do it, which still could be done. But the HRSD provides so much more than you can just get from just a regular workflow. So here, I think it is investing, making sure you choose the right technology for your particular company.
Kristen, what do you think the benefits are? You have all these people using this ServiceNow platform and the HR SD, as Becky called it, service delivery. And I know you and Fred have a background where you guys would take the platform and extend it and do things with it. How much benefit is there in all these other companies using the platform and adding functionality to it and bringing that back to the community?
There's so much benefit there. I'm going to say a line I say a lot because it's so true. ServiceNow has an army of developers building on this platform. They come out with 2 releases a year. They are constantly building, constantly improving. They're taking feedback from their customers and seeing what their customers and partners are building on top of the platform, and they're incorporating those things into the out of box. So you don't have to spend your developer hours maintaining these things or building these custom tool sets. You've got ServiceNow taking on that technical debt so they can actually build those things out for you. They maintain those things for you. So when you're investing in ServiceNow, you're not just investing in the features and functionality they have now, but you're investing in that ongoing maintenance and upkeep and improvement, that continual improvement that comes from ServiceNow. Yeah.
And I guess the good thing there, because you're doing on their platform, they can see what you're doing and then they can take the best of that and put it into the products.
Absolutely. And they also have customer and partner focus groups where they can actually get feedback directly from their customers and partners and ask questions and see exactly how they're using it. So not just look at what's been built, but ask why was that built and how is that being built? I've actually sat in on a few of those focus groups, and they really want to understand what's being done and why it's being done so that when they incorporate it into the platform, they're doing it the right way. That's going to benefit the majority of their customers. Yeah.
Do you think that's one of the reasons why they did all this on Java, or do you think that was just a fortunate thing that all kind of worked out?
I think that was a fortunate thing. I think that was Fred Luddy's development platform of choice or language of choice, and it's worked out very well for them. Yeah.
Fred Reynolds, how many how many integrations do you think you guys did that showed up in the product later?
And we did 20 plus integrations, I believe, from what we had done, right? I think my take on this, right technology, just kind of goes on the integration part. So first of all, I think we have lots of discussion with customers around choosing the right technology. We even present ServiceNow for the first time or looking at it against something else. You see a lot of people investing in a particular niche product. HR is one of those. There's lots of products out there. Security is another one that has that. The funny thing about ServiceNow is that it can do all of those because of the investments they've made in these areas. Now, HR in this particular, I could pick any of them, right? There's base things that come out of the box for that helps you get 90% there. But again, if they just invest in ServiceNow as a base solution and platform, integration with some of those niche solutions, if they don't want to move away them originally, can help them achieve some of the ROI in these areas too. And that's part of what it's talking here. Right technology really drives that ROI. And it does have some stats in there, Andy. Maybe you can hit on that as far as increased ROI by using ServiceNow. Because I absolutely, these are stunning, 254% in savings. I believe that when you think about the time people spend swivel seating, typing things, regurgitating the same information of a platform that can actually tie things together. That's why I think choosing the right technology helps, is that you have to have a vision to start with as your end goal of where you're trying to go. And that's definitely clear with digital transformation. Where am I trying to go from where I'm starting? And it's a journey.
Yeah.
We just met with a customer that has over 900 applications, and they're like, we need help of sitting down a roadmap and how to get these down and what can we move to. ServiceNow is a platform that helps with that.
I think there's a couple one, the platform, the word platform, we should have a drinking game or put $1 in a jar every time somebody says on this podcast. It just comes up over and over again. And that is the key thing. I think we did a podcast on that. And then the other is, you just said a customer is looking for help with this application portfolio sprawl that they have. And what I love about the ServiceNow side of the business for us is we're not trying to convince people that this technology is going to make their life better. They already see it. They just want help getting it done.
Right.
All right. Final topic here, Becky, create a single view. What are they trying to say here?
So this is really talking about more of a dashboard, being able to see where everything is at, how many records are out there for HR, as a manager or as an HR representative. how many tickets do I have? Where are my SLAs at? Or is something fixing to, run out of time onto it? So what do I need to work on next? I really get that single view to be able to see it. And you would be surprised at how many people have said, oh, well, we emailed or we sent this over to IT or to wherever, and it's just in the black hole. We have no idea where it's at, how many tickets are out there, how long it's been, other than, we sent it whatever date and so forth. But that is what we're really getting away from. We are really trying to show them one view, be able to look at it and see where things are at. You can see where the ticket's at, how many more tasks that it might have, how many more days, estimation onto that particular request, as well as the end user can see as well. So it really does help give that single pane view of overall, not just one ticket, but all of my work that I might have.
Kristen, what's the most random combination of things you've ever seen on a dashboard in the ServiceNow world?
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, Fred, it has to be that one that we built for the customers over at Avaya. We had, oh gosh, I think 6 different tabs on that dashboard, several different views. We were combining information from several different backend systems, pulling it in through integrations, displaying it on the portal. It was, oh gosh, everything from like call performance to, gosh, I can't even remember, but we had all sorts of dashboards going on for the customers, and they were filterable, and you could filter by date and slice and dice and click through to get to the details. It was quite a dashboard. Yes. Yeah.
Is it fair to say some of those were IT items and some of them were end user items?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. So that particular one was very customer facing, but of course it was a technology company. So most of the views were pretty technical, but there were also some high level views as well. And even some that incorporated user billing data so that they could reconcile their bills and things like that. So, yeah.
And that particular dashboard, as Chris talked about, it was very advanced. I mean, we had it for several years, but it actually had, robotics behind it for calculating user experience. So very new to that time. So we had a lot of that as well. Ticket counts. I mean, it's important as a managed services, they can understand tickets and pie charts and everything with it. The good thing about it, and even in this HR space, right, you're delivering a click down view, top level as to where you are, and you keep clicking down and clicking down and clicking down to the data you want. Because we had such outside information from monitoring devices on that, it was very complicated. It was very large. I mean, terabytes and terabytes of data we used to create those dashboards and on the fly. So,
well, you got the data. You might as well use it, right?
Exactly. Yep.
All right, guys. Becky, one takeaway from this podcast, reviewing this blog that you think someone should have.
Check out HRSD and ServiceNow. I don't think it will disappoint.
Yeah. Kristen, you?
Yeah, I would just reiterate that end user experience, you only get one choice or one chance at a first impression. Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's good.
Fred.
That's good.
Fred, one takeaway.
So one takeaway for me is I think that as companies leading their companies to think about the employee experience, and with the dashboards that are now being created in the employee center, they can really create a one-stop shop where it can service their employees and their customers in one system that ties it all together. So to me, it's back to your platform. So everybody take a drink. I mean, this is a unifying platform to break down those silos. And I think the more and more people branch out between just using it as a ticketing system or just using it as security or just HR, put two things together, you expand your value of it.
Fred, what kind of platform is it?
It is a unifying platform.
You know what my takeaway is from this podcast?
What's that? It's a platform.
All four of us don't put a G on the end of any ing words. I thought I'd end up with something funny. Guys, thanks for the time, and we'll do it again next week and keep bringing these good topics to talk about.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the week. Thanks.
Thank you.